Hey guys, and welcome to another video from the Calcio Bros. I'm Christian here with my brother Luca, and we're going to give our thoughts on Matchday 2 of Serie A.
Yeah, there's been a lot of important results for each team and a lot of amazing goals that happened this week, and we're all going to discuss it in this video.
Alright, so we're going to open up with Saturday's results. There's 3 games that day, 2 at midday, and then 1 at 2:45. So the 2 at lunchtime were Benevento-Bologna, where Bologna took the victory. And then Genoa-Juventus. And then Genoa-Juventus was a good, interesting way to start off the weekend.
Yeah, a little VAR was used in that game with Genoa's penalty and with Juve's penalty during that match. I think that really showed how important that VAR is going to be, even though it did miss a couple calls in other games.
Do you really think the decisions were right, or do you think that it still needs time to really develop the use? Do you think the referee should let it play on, or do you think we should use VAR every single time?
I think especially with the Juve penalty, it was a handball. I think using that really helped Juve to get that penalty. So I think it is important to look over it quickly as fast as you can and not let the play go on forever and ever.
Because it did take a while for the decision to be made. The one thing about the VAR, it does take a while. I believe it took about 5 minutes for the decision to be made, which basically slows down the game, which I don't think should happen. I say there should be a decision 30 seconds from what happened to make the decision to use VAR, and then it should be a 30-second decision to decide whether or not that's the call or not. What do you think?
It's hard to tell. It depends what the situation is and how long and how in-depth you need to really look at it. Again, with the Genoa penalty, he did get clipped from behind, and it was good that they did see, and I believe it was a penalty. Even with Juve's side, either it was going to be a corner or a penalty, and then they did end up giving it a penalty.
The thing about Genoa's penalty is that he was coming from an offside position, so that was the one debate about that, if it should have been given. Even with Juve's, they were saying it was ball to hand, but from what I saw too, I did think it was a penalty. But again, those decisions are tough to make.
Let us know what you guys think down below if VAR is supposed to be longer or shorter.
And again, with that game, Genoa were up 2-0 in the first 8 minutes of the game. Then Juve did come back and win it 4-2 thanks to a Paulo Dybala hat-trick, and which was something else. He will, I believe, have a good season.
It's surprising, a good fact, that's his first ever hat-trick he's ever gotten. And a lot of people are surprised it's happened so late. The guy's an amazing player, and Juve are really lucky to have him. And again, Genoa could have parked the bus on this game, and it was already 2-0 up. Juve never go down without a fight, and I believe it was a well-fought game for them.
And then going to the afternoon game, AS Roma versus Inter, where Inter managed to get the victory from Roma. It's stuff like football where team dominates but still ends up losing the match. I know you're a little bitter about that, but it's stuff like that which does make football great.
Yeah, in a way, we played amazing first half, got that good goal from Zacco, amazing pass by Nangolan, and in the second half we kind of went down a little while we progressed during the game, but I think we played better in full aspect. We hit 3 posts from Nangolan, Perotti, and I believe Zacco was the other one. But I think this is how football works. You play as much as you can, you do all these chances, but at the end of the day, if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, the game's not yours.
But Inter do look a much improved squad compared to last year. Spalletti really showing Inter how to really form as a team, how to improve. It does seem, again, bittersweet where he comes to Rome and defeats his old team. Do you think Inter can keep going at this rate, or do you think they still need 1 or 2 improvements to help them sustain and be consistent?
Don't get me wrong, Inter has a good team. Icardi's starting to step up now, and Spalletti's really looking at him to make him his Zacco of what he was at Roma. And I think Icardi will be one of the top scorers, but with Spalletti there now, I believe they can be top 3 contenders. And knowing how he's building them, I think it will be a good season for them.
Yeah, and we're going to go on to the next day now at the midday game, which is Torino-Sassuolo, and a big win for Torino, 3-0 victory. Goals from Belotti, Ljajic, and Joao Obi. Belotti scoring another great goal this year, scoring an overhead kick from across from Del Silvestri. He is just something else. He's
an amazing player, and Torino, again, lucky to have him. And with that 100 million buyout clause, it's gonna be for any team to get him, it'll be really hard, and I know Torino will not let him go without a fight. And that goal, I think, is already a goal contender of the season.
Do you think if he continues like this, scoring goals almost every game for fun, do you think Torino will be able to hang on to him next season, or they'll probably even let him go in January, depending?
It's a possibility, but it depends where Belotti wants to do, and if he wants to stay at Torino or even go to a bigger and better team. Again, not saying Torino is a bad team, but to go above and beyond, even go to the Premier League, the French League, Bundesliga, or even like Juve, Roma, Napoli, like those three teams could help him become a superstar.
Because I know now he was rumored with Milan for a while, and even their new Milan look he would suit the system, but it depends if there's room for him now, especially with Cutrone breaking out. But again, we'll see where Belotti does end up come January or even next transfer market. And now for the rest of the afternoon games, we go from the leading game, which is Napoli-Atalanta. Napoli coming back to beat them 3-1. Zielinski scored a great goal during their game, which can be also considered a goal of the day as well. Who knows? Your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, Atalanta are always tough, especially I even saw when Roma played them at home last week. We struggled a lot, and Atalanta always put up a fight. And even away to Napoli, that's really hard to play at. They fought well and made Napoli really fight for that win. And with that opening goal, they really tried to hold on to it. But in the end, Napoli kept pushing and pushing, knocking at the door, and they got in. And they scored two amazing goals.
Yeah, Napoli able to get the victory against Atalanta, and Atalanta now 2 defeats in 2 games. Let's see if they can bounce back after a great season they had last year. Then we also have Spal, who after 49 years manages to get their first win, and it's been about 18,000 days.
Win in Serie A, not win in general.
Sorry, win this year. It was 18,000 days was the last time they scored a goal in Serie A, which is a very, very long time ago. Again, it just feels good to have him back. And their first goal scorer was Marco Borriello, who did set a record of scoring with 12 different teams in Serie A. He is just an all-around man, and I think he can really give Spal something else up front there.
That's a really funny record. The only one I could probably see beating is Ibrahimovic, where he's gone to a lot of teams and more. I think Borriello's probably gone to more teams than Ibra, but overall, still a good achievement for Spal. I'm happy they won, and it was a long time coming. And I think they fought well and almost came out with a draw, but at the end, they got the win.
And then we'll move on to Fiorentina-Sampdoria, with Fiorentina losing at home to Sampdoria 2-1, and that's just not even good for the La Viola. They're just struggling right now at the moment. So
yeah, it's a big surprise there, and Fiorentina have sold most of their good players: Vecino, Bernardeschi, and I think there's Rodriguez in the defense, and their goalie Tortorosanu.
They have gotten rid of Ilicic, Borja Valero. They're just losing everyone. Kalinic as well gone. They just really need to do something in the remaining days to really strengthen if they want to even reach a Europa League spot. They did get rid of even Paulo Sousa. That, I don't know, was the best move, replacing him with Pioli, but it's still early again. We'll have to see. These remaining few days are going to be important, but they do need to pick it up in the coming days. The next few games, Crotone and Verona tied 0-0, both teams picking up their first points of the season. Chievo losing at home to Lazio. Lazio managing to pick up their first win of the season. Do you think they have a chance at finishing 4th or 5th again?
Hey, since I'm a Roma fan, I'm going to be biased and say hopefully not. But Lazio do have a good young team with Savic. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his first name. With Savic in that midfield, giving that good depth and a good work rate there. And so with even their team is really young. Their goalie's young, defending's good, and I think overall they can make it to the good maybe 5th or 6th place, maybe 4th, to really start pushing near the end. But they fought for this win. There's a beautiful goal by Savic, and I think they can be contenders.
And then the last game was Milan-Cagliari, where Milan did come out with a 2-1 victory. Cutrone on fire once again. He's scoring the opening goal. Milan conceding their first goal in official games this year. It wasn't the best performance with them. They could have really improved, but that's what happens when you have a team where everyone's new. You have a completely new team. It does take time to build the chemistry, but they cannot do this when it comes to the official games against stronger teams. They really need to improve their play. And speaking again of Cutrone, young guy again, on fire. Do you think he can keep it up?
Yeah, I believe he can. There's a lot of young players in Serie A this year trying to prove themselves, and Crotone is one of them. He is having, I think, 2 goals in the last 2 games, and even in the Europa League, he has had some important goals to help Milan get through. So yeah, I believe he can be a good deal breaker for them and helping them push through every single game. But Cagliari did make him work for that win. Suso with an amazing free kick, but there was a lot of controversy in that game with Bonucci almost giving that penalty away and the VAR having to be used a couple times there. But without that, Milan did score well and get the victory.
And now we'll move on to our player of the weekend. Who do you think earned it on your side?
Oh my god, that's a tough one. I think maybe Quagliarella or even Icardi, because both of them scored 2 goals.
Icardi, I know it is tough. Icardi did score twice to help Inter achieve the victory. But then again, I'm going to probably go with Paulo Dybala, earning his first career hat-trick, helping Juve come back, earn the comeback victory against Genoa. For me, he is the player of the weekend.
Oh my god, I forgot about Dybala for a second. I'm going to choose Dybala, yeah, right away. That man is insane. 3 goals to help Juve win that. My bad. Sorry, Dybala. I forgot about you, buddy. But I think, Dybala is my man.
Now, for our goal of the weekend. Tough, because there's a couple good goals this weekend. But who would you choose if you had to choose one?
I had to tie them up. I think Zielinski and Belotti. Those two, I think it's hard to choose. So I'm going to stay with those two.
Yeah, it is tough to say. I will probably go... I would probably tie it as well. Zielinski and Belotti. Belotti with a nice overhead kick, and Zielinski with the chest and volley in the top corner. Some of the great goals you've seen. They're probably going to be contenders for goal of the season. If you guys haven't seen it, check them out. And we'll just wait till the end of the Mercato, see if any teams finish. Do you think any teams will be very active in the last couple days?
Well, knowing... probably, I think every team needs to improve certain parts of the team. I already know Roma is pushing for Schick to come in and enforce their attack that they really need. And I know Torino just signed Berdiso for the defense and possibly Emery Moore. But we'll discuss it when the Mercato ends and see what team has had the best Mercato.
Yeah, and stay tuned for our video for the winners and losers of the Mercato in Serie A. Follow us again on Twitter, Calcio_bros. Give us a subscription on YouTube and comment below on your thoughts from this weekend. Hear from you guys soon.
See ya.